of you? Okay. Number 1. I got 45x plus 200 equals y, and 65x plus 40 equals y. Then I simply set them equal to each other, so I use substitution for this one. I set them equal to each other and found that x equals 8, so it's 8 months. 8 months. Yeah. Is that better? So I just set them equal to each other. I subtracted 40 from both sides. I subtracted 45 from both sides. Got 160 equals 20x. Divided by 20, got x equals 8. Questions, comments, concerns about that one? All right, let's look at number 3. Oh, excuse me, number 2. Let's not skip. Number 2, I've got 4x plus 2y equals 56, and 5x plus 3y equals 76. So what I did was use elimination method. I times the top one by 3 and the bottom one by -2, and then added straight down, giving me x equals 8. Plugged that in to find that y equals 12. Any questions about that one? Okay, number 3. I got x plus y equals 10 and x minus y equals 6. Remember, if you're going with the current, it makes you go faster, so you add the current to it. When you're going against the current, you have to subtract it from it. Okay, so I did elimination method and got the boat is going 8 miles per hour and the current is going 2 miles per hour. Questions? Okay, I can't read your mind, so if you have a question about something, I don't know unless you tell me. Okay. Number 4, I got x plus y equals 2,200, and 1.5 times 4 equals 5,050. I wanted to use elimination method for these. You could have used a matrices for any of these. And I get x equals 1,500. And then I plug it back in and find that y equals 700. Comments or concern about that one? Okay. Number 5, I graphed and found that it intersects at 1, 1. I graphed the 2 lines and found that they intersect at 1, 1. B, I graphed them and found that they intersect at -3, 2.5. If you're ever worried about, I'm not sure where they cross, you can always plug them in to be able to do it. Make sure you do your slope right. As you can see, for the first time I did this and crossed it out, I did my slope wrong the first time. Yep. Any questions about graphing? We start at the y-intercept. The slope tells me how much I go up, down, right, or left. Okay. Let's move on to 6 then. Let's flip it over. Okay, for 6A and B, you could have totally used the matrix method. I used elimination for both of mine, but you did not have to. X equals 3 and y equals -1. X equals 3 and y equals -1. B, I get x equals 2 for x and y equals 2. Again, I did that with elimination method. C, I moved to a matrix because I didn't want to do elimination method a million times because I had 3 unknowns. So first thing I did was put them in standard form. So I put the C's first, then the P's, then the X's, then the answer. And I get C equals 3, P equals 0, and X equals -7. Okay. D, same thing. I put it in standard form first. And then I put it in the matrices. And I got A is -11/7, B is 4/7, C is -36/7, and D is -15/7. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
What's D?
D is -15/7. Yes. Sure. You can use any kind of scrap you want for it. I find for these, I'm just going to find the slope, put it in point slope form, solve for slope intercept. So for 7a, I found that the slope was 4/1. So I plug that into point slope form, and then solve and get y equals 4x plus 7.
For D on number 6, I got A equals -3, B equals 2, C equals -8, and D equals -5.
Those are not the correct answers, but I can look at your matrices to see where you messed up. So
I think I just tried.
here, bring me your paper, and we'll look at it. So there's been a lot of issues with D. So you have 2, -2, -3, 1, 0, -3, -1. Here's the issue. You have 0, so you're moving this over, moving that over. 2D, you would move to the other side. Right? -2D. Become +2D, so D and D makes this 3D. Yep. Putting them in standard form is rough. Alright. B, we should get y equals 1/3 x minus 3. 7b, y equals 1/3 x minus 3. C, we should get y equals 2x plus 23. C, we should get y equals 2x plus 23. And D, we should get y equals -1x plus 3.
What was B?
B is 1/3 x minus 3. Yes?
For C,
Yeah.
I was looking at the table,
Yeah.
and the bottoms increase steadily by 4,
Yes.
but the top increases 2, 2, and then 4.
Yeah, I think there was a
So,
typo.
okay.
There would not be a typo like that on your test. Pretty sure. I think it should be -2. -2 should be -4. Okay. 8 is, it says you have to put them in a linear equation, so that can be point slope form. Y minus 2 equals 3 times x plus 3. B is y minus 3 equals -1 times x minus 0. And C is you have to change this into slope intercept form. So I'm going to subtract 4x and then divide everything by 3. So I know I need a slope that's perpendicular to negative 4/3. How do I know what's perpendicular to it? I use the opposite reciprocal. So that's positive 3/4. So y plus 2 equals 3/4 x minus 5. For d, I need the slope to be the same because they're parallel. So y minus 6 equals 2/3 x minus 4. Any questions? Something that I went over too fast that you want me to go over again? All right. So, yes, Cheyenne. What? Okay. So, for like C or for like all of it? 8. Okay, you're just putting it in point slope form. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Just point slope form. You've got, for almost all of these, you've got a point and a slope. Or you can figure out the slope and then you have a slope and a point. You put it in point slope form. Done. Yes, Ethan. Perpendicular means your slope has to be opposite reciprocals. So, for example, this is an example. If I have 2 and I want to find something that's perpendicular to 2, I flip it over and I change the sign. So it would be negative 1/2. Opposite reciprocal. Opposite sign and the reciprocal. Any other questions? All right, guys, you have the rest of the hour. My suggestion would be to rewrite these the problems, especially the ones you did incorrectly, and try them again. Okay? And the ones that you weren't so sure about. You might have gotten the right answer, but you had to ask for help or you were confused about.